I don't know what you guys think, but what the heck is becoming of our world today? I mean, if you think about it, right? People, they really could be more loving. Other people could really be more loving. Other people could be more compassionate. Other people could be more tender, more forgiving, more open. Other people, they're so reactive to everything. It just, I don't know, it's just driving me crazy when I think about the way other people are acting.
Hey, Drew. Drew.
Yeah.
Turn around. Look left. There you
go. Oh. Jesus? Is that you, Jesus? Oh my God. This is incredible. I can't tell you. I have longed to actually have this experience of being able to see you, to be in your presence. I've always thought about what it would have been like to be there when you were walking Galilee and all the areas of Judea, and what that would have been like to eat with you and sit with you and talk with you and to experience your presence.
Yeah, I get that. But I just want you to know that I am always present to you, all the time, whether you can see me or not. So many people, they believe it when they see it. But if you recall what I said, it's in the believing that creates the seeing.
So you're saying to me that if I believe, if I allow myself to be open in my heart to your presence, I will see it more clearly and I will experience it in my living.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Now, sit down. We need to have a little chat.
Why, I got a problem?
I heard you begin your homily, and you were being quite judgmental. Let me ask you a question. How long have you been a Catholic Christian?
Well, let's see. I'm 61, so I guess it all started when I was baptized back in 50. You know, Jesus, I just happen to have my baptismal certificate on me to prove, to document that I am a Catholic Christian. See, look at this. Andrew Gerard Miller, son of Richie and Mary Dolores.
What? This is unbelievable. Wait, stop. This is unbelievable.
What?
You mean you carry around your sacramental certificates with you?
Well, I mean, I kind of had it tacked onto my refrigerator till my mid-50s. I was so proud to document that I was a Catholic, to prove I was a Catholic. But then I took it down, and I've been carrying it around in my pocket all this time.
Boy, oh boy, we have a lot of work to do. Drew, your sacraments certainly were a wonderful experience, but all of that is totally meaningless if it hasn't changed your heart. Drew, if it hasn't changed your heart, it's meaningless.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. Like, I have this piece of paper documenting that I was baptized, and by the way, I had my first communion May 7th in 66. And then I was confirmed on March 1971. I was 12. So, but I do hear what you're saying. What's the point of being baptized and receiving Eucharist and having your confirmation and sacraments if it's not going to change my heart? It's about as worth as this piece of paper. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I could, I just have to say, I get a little emotional when I look at this, because here's my Uncle Fred and Aunt Margie. They were my sponsors. They were my godparents, and then my dad. And, kind of going down memory lane, and they're all dead. They're dead, Jesus.
Well, now, wait a minute, Drew. Wait. There is no such thing as death. Your Aunt Margie, your Uncle Fred, and your dad, they're all alive in paradise. All of you who remain in your bodies can't even imagine the overwhelming joy, the peace, and the ecstasy they are experiencing now as we speak.
That's really so comforting. I have to keep reminding myself of that, knowing that my dad and my aunt and uncle, they're alive. Because there's a lot of people in our parish who have lost people that they love so dearly, and their hearts are broken. And I guess we all have a tendency to look at it as a death. And what you're saying is so important, that they're no less alive today than they were X amount of years ago, that they're alive in paradise and experiencing a joy, a peace, and an ecstasy that we can only imagine how fantastic that is.
Yes, yeah. That is so important for you to know and for you to communicate to the Good Shepherd family. There is no such thing as death. Drew, this is an essential part of your faith.
Yeah, I don't know. I forget. I slip back into, I don't know, my mind or being negative, and yet I want you to know I really do hear you to remind me, and thank you so much. And I will keep reminding everybody of Good Shepherd the power of what you're saying, that we are eternal spiritual beings, and there's no such thing as death.
You know what? Let's get back to your homily.
Oh, my homily, yeah.
You're saying that others need to be more loving, open, and compassionate, less judgmental, less reactive.
That's right.
I want you to say the same things, but rather than saying other people, say I.
What?
You heard me.
So you're saying I should say I need to be more loving, that I need to be more forgiving, that I need to be more compassionate and tender and open and less reactive. Is that what you're saying?
Druzy, I think you're getting it now. I'm really looking for all my disciples to simply take responsibility for their own lives and stop pointing their fingers at others. Because so often, when you are judging other people, you are not seeing the total picture. You are just reacting. Let me tell you a little story.
Okay.
I call them parables. There was a man rowing his boat upstream when suddenly he saw another larger boat coming downstream toward him. He shouted, "Watch out!" But the boat ran right into him, nearly sinking his boat. The man became angry and began to shout. But when he looked more closely, he noticed that there was no one in the other boat. The boat had loosed its moors and had drifted downstream by itself. See, when our perceptions are incorrect, they can cause us a lot of unnecessary suffering. We look at things deeply in order to understand their true nature, so that we will not be misled and suffer unnecessarily.
So if I got this right, you're saying that this guy was so quick to react, so quick to just assume that somebody smashed into his boat, and because he wasn't seeing the total picture, he got angry and suffered. And yet that's kind of like what we do. We react or judge, and we're not really seeing the whole picture. We're not, even when you think of when I'm judging other people, like what I was saying before, I really don't know what's going on in their lives.
Yes, I'm glad you're starting to open up your eyes.
You know, I do feel a lot lighter. I do feel good. I'm kind of getting this. I understand that, and it's kind of ridiculous, right? When you think of like when we're judging other people, because we really just don't know another person to the depth of who they are. We don't have the entire picture of what's going on. And I hear you, and I want to open up my heart to you. I want to give my heart to you, and yet I don't know. I just seem to like backslide and get into the typical mindset of people who don't have faith, and kind of reminds me of that parable you gave about the sower. I feel like I'm like that seed that gets thrown on the soil with all the thorn bushes, and my faith and my heart gets choked, and I don't really grow. And yet I want to be like that seed that goes on that rich, thick soil that develops my heart, that is supple and tender and open. And like you said in that parable, if I could be in that seed with that rich, lush soil, that I can grow and love 100-fold.
Mm. Yeah, Drew, this is the main reason I wanted to meet with you this morning, because I know the reason why you are not transforming. And I have just the antidote for you.
You have a vaccine for my lousy heart?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes, Jesus, I'm open and I'm ready.
Okay. You actually believe that your Catholic Christianity is about your loving me and my Father, but you have it completely 180 degrees in the wrong direction. The quality and the depth of your Catholic Christianity was never about you loving me. It's about your ability to be open, to allow yourself to surrender to my love for you. Because when you allow yourself to be loved, you open up in such a way that you transform and become loving. Simply put, you become loving when you let yourself be loved by me. If you do this, you will be able to realize who you really are.
Wow. That is amazing. I hear what you're saying. I think I put so much on myself, and yet it's really not about me. It's about you. It's about me letting you in my heart.
Yes. Yes. You want to know a great way to take this all in, Drew? I want you to turn around and look at me hanging on the cross. When you look at that, I want you to look not as me taking away sin, but as me saying to you, this is how much I love you. Look at the cross, and this is what my death on the cross means. Are you ready? Are you ready? It means that I love you just the way you are. It means I have no demands of you. There are no lists and boxes to check. This is nothing that you have to work terribly hard on. And now, you don't even have to try harder. Now, take that in for a second.
And I could feel it. I look at you, and you didn't leave anything on the playing field, did you? You gave it all away. You gave yourself away totally and completely. You were willing to do whatever it took to let me and to let everybody know that our Catholic Christianity, the quality of our Catholic Christianity, is completely determined by how much we open ourselves up and avail ourselves to being loved by you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There is a name for that.
What's that, Jesus?
It's called the gospel. And let me tell you something else. Let me be crystal clear. And I want to be sure no one takes what I'm about to say lightly. I am calling all of you a good shepherd, not just you, Drew. It is by living this gospel that you are going to reform my church. My church needs to be reformed.
Well, Donna's always talking about we need to be so committed to realizing the call that we all have. It's like a commission from you to reform your church. You paid the greatest price in the world. You gave your life away. And you're calling us to reform that church, to live that gospel. And she's always like reminding me, no matter what happens at Good Shepherd, we have to keep our eyes focused on your call. By the way, do you know Donna?
You could say intimately.
You do, huh? She really has the heart and the soul of a disciple of Christ. I don't know really where we would be without her.
Yeah. Well, Drew, you make a lot of good points. I'm wondering, are you feeling the Christ inside you arising, I wonder?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because right now I'm feeling your power and your strength. And I noticed myself when I began the homily, I was in the darkness of being judgmental. And now I feel that darkness has been dispelled. And I feel lighter and more open. And, when I think about not only Donna, but I think about Vinny, he's always saying that, he's quoting Julian of Norwich, and he's got his nuggets, and he's talking about how that you cannot love us anymore, and that there's nothing we can do to be loved more by you. And, he's such a powerful asset to the team. And then I look at like Terry Daly, our deacon, the lovable Terry Daly, that he too is so open, and he's probably one of the most courageous men I know. And he's just open to growing and becoming closer with you and being aware of your divine healing presence in his life. It really, it's really a great team. We really, it's something special.
Yeah, that's a good point. You guys are great. And not only are you guys a good team, but everyone in Good Shepherd is part of a parish family. And one of the most important things in a family is that everyone belongs. Everyone is included. A sense of belonging and respect is very important to a parish family. Any family, but especially a parish family.
Wow. Now, right now, I started out, I was kind of like judgmental and heavy, and wasn't as happy, now I feel so light. I feel like my heart is on fire. I feel motivated more than ever to be the loving guy that you call me to be. Knowing that I don't have to motivates me to do it. It's almost like if something's a condition, it hampers it, where if it's unconditional, there's that tendency to want to respond to that love. It's I feel like the state of being that I'm in right now, I want to stay there forever.
And you can live in that state forever. While your Aunt Margie and Uncle Fred and your dad and everyone in this parish who's lost a loved one know that they are living in this state of being. It's not that you have to wait to experience kingdom living. As I've said to you before, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Therefore, it's available to you all the time. But Drew, you must choose it. You have to actively participate in it.
Wow. Jesus, I want you to know something. I'm never, ever going to forget our conversation this morning.